rusty card shop on the edge of town. Boys and girls come gather, slinging spells around, stealing mana from the earth. Summoning creatures tall with a deck of cardboard secrets, ready for the brawl. We've got forests and swamps, mountains and the plains. Islands bring the blue sky and spells to twist our brains. With our eyes on victory and a heart that's full of cheer, with a deck of cardboard secrets, ready for the brawl. We've got forests and swamps, mountains and the plains. Islands bring the blue sky and spells to twist our brains. With our eyes on victory and a heart that's full of cheer, we shuffle up our hopes and dreams and never show our fear. It's magic in the cards in that old beat-up box, where we trade and collect them around the ticking clocks. In a world of dragons, elves, and enchanted lands so far, we find our battles and friendships with magic in the cards.
Hey everybody, welcome to Turn2Gaming. I am your host, Matt Bartram. I'm also with my co-host / the most, AJ. What's going on, AJ?
What's up? How you guys doing?
Oh, I think we are all doing good. And it's been 2 years. We're being very consistent on our videos, and I'm very excited about that part, you know?
Yeah, every 2 years.
Every 2 years we start getting back into it. We start recording some. We were trying to record ourselves, but we look so old that we don't even know who we are anymore. So
I know, it's kind of a shock there, to be honest.
I know. I was like, so I saw that beard of mine. I was like, oh man, I don't even like beards, but what the hell is this thing I'm doing on my face? But
yeah, I'm pretty sure, though, once we get the technical difficulties of these dang podcasts figured out, we should be able to do video podcasting / interactive stuff that we've always wanted to do over the years. I think we'll figure it out.
I think we will too. I think we're going to start doing hopefully some gameplay together at some point. I think that's what our next plan is. We're testing out the Mox Field, and we're probably even just going to record our games maybe on Spell Table. But overall, it's very exciting. I'm having a good time getting back into the game, even though the game, like, it's funny. I've been collecting this whole entire time and not really playing, but Pauper's been probably the only format I actually play, and then it's probably about where I'm at right now. I don't know about you.
Yeah, about the same. You know, and I think we talked over the phone the past couple weeks about just in general, not necessarily falling out of love with the game, but kind of being set in our ways of like what we enjoy about Magic and the TCG hobby. I think not that we're like old, curmudgeons are like, oh, this is all we like. It's like, no, we just found what we enjoy of the hobby, and that's kind of is what it is,
Yeah, I think that's very solid feel towards it all. It's like, we're not like some of it too for me is like, I know get good aspect to the game, but like I get a little bit frustrated as of lately because like there's times like you go to a card store, and I'm sure this happens to everybody, but you don't win that first game, or the first game you go to, you get the freaking buy. Like the next game you get a buy, and I absolutely hate the buy. Like some people are like, oh cool, yep, I get a buy. No, I came to play games, man. Like I didn't come here just to chill out and just hopefully be like, oh cool, I get to hang out with some people. And no, I mean hang out with people is cool, but like the point of like I want to go and play the game and try to learn how to get better with it. If I'm just going there to play 2 games and socialize a little bit, that's not really worth it. I'm best off setting my butt at home and playing MTGO or something of that nature.
Yeah.
And like that's where,
for sure.
And that's just where I just get really frustrated at. And if you hear a ball going around, my cat never plays with this ball, but she decided to play with the ball as we decided to record. So
yeah, I got her. Well, it's funny about that too, is like, I totally understand what you mean by going to a card shop, will it be a tournament, check out stuff, the whole industry's changed since COVID anyways. I mean, it's kind of hard to say like what it will look like in the next 5 years.
Right.
But since COVID, I remember we were really heavily going to tournaments and stuff between, I would say, when you started playing around 2018 to like 18, 19, a little bit of, 2020. And then I kind of took a hiatus for a year or so. You were playing pretty heavily still. And then you kind of wavered towards collecting, and I went towards like, well, these are the cards I have. So I pretty much just play a random Pauper tournament every now and then. Literally the last one that I did,
Right.
I top 8'd it, but the only reason is because I was just playing one of like the top 3 decks. It wasn't like it was anything super special. It just was matchups and all that. And, it would have been disappointing to not, do well. But it also is just like, it kind of solidifies what I've always thought about, the hobby in general, is like, if you're not having fun with it, just find a thing that you enjoy about it. Like, I like that casual competitive side where we play, as much as we can on Spell Table.
Right.
We talk almost weekly, 2-3 times a week if we can. And we just talk about the game. Heck, we've been even talking more about life recently, which I enjoy because, I got a 3rd baby here now.
Right.
And, just living life and trying to figure out how to do my music career. And, I don't know, there's just a lot going on. And it's cool just to know, like, what you put your time and investment in it's important. So you want to get something out of that. So I can see the frustration there where you're like, I'd rather just invest my time in being, MTGO or Spell Table or even collecting. I mean, that's a hobby within itself.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I did. I just said, screw it, I'm just going to collect. I started collecting original dual lands, started trying to collect some of the Moxes, and like I said, the goal is just kind of get the Power 9, and I've been kind of liking the finance part of it too, which, I mean, I know people don't like talking about it too much, but like, I get tired of, I'm going to throw them out, the Jake and Joel or Magic, and like, there's another guy that's from Canada that I'm not a big fan of. Not that I have anything against them, but they're just like, I think they're trying too hard, if that makes sense. But you know what? They got more views than us, so they're obviously doing something better. But
yeah.
But like, I'm really more at the point where I'm just like, I don't want to bring up like hype on the finances like those guys are, but I'm very interested in it because sometimes, like you said, if you get a card like that you paid like 40 cents on, it's like $3 all of a sudden. And a lot of times too is like people speculate on ban lists and potentially unbans, and I think that's a really fun aspect of the game. And just like I said, the collecting aspect is just a lot of fun. And yeah, I mean, like, I bought collections throughout the years, and especially like my biggest collection I just bought just happened recently, so that was very exciting. So
that is cool. I know. Excuse me, too. I'm getting over an ear infection, which I didn't even know adults could really get ear infections that often.
You were the one, though.
I was the one. Actually, when I went to go get my medicine, I had my daughter and my son with me, and sure enough, they were like talking to them about the medicine, the pharmacist, and I was like, "Oh no, that's for me, actually." So I'm just like, dang,
right?
How does that happen to me? But no, I get you. It's definitely it's a weird spot to be in when you're trying to enjoy a hobby that, I'm reminiscing on 9 years in the hobby of collecting or table, or what am I trying to say? Trading cards. But recently I got into Warhammer, which I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. I literally played the Space Marines 2 game, and I didn't even finish that game. My dad and I played it, and we were like, wow, this is awesome. And then, like, no joke, I just was like, I've always seen these miniatures or whatever. And then I got into that, and I was like, well, this is fun, But it's like it fills a little spot in my hobby landscape, I'm a big video gamer, play cards, I like the tournament stuff, I like competitiveness, but in all actuality, it's just like those peaks of interest that kind of keep reemerging. And I think, talking back on that point for you about the finance side, I definitely feel drawn to the idea of like, I guess you would call them the penny stocks. I do like that idea of like, wow, I have 20 merchant scrolls for a couple bucks a piece, and then now they're literally $20 to $30 because of High Tide being unbanned in Pauper.
Yep.
Cool. That's awesome. But you won't never known to buy those unless you like really, really were like, wow, they haven't really reprinted this, and this is a good card. I mean, you have to be so in tune with it. It's kind of what Modern used to be way back in the day, where you could basically pick up any card and if any deck made it popular, like any common or uncommon, it would just jump in astronomically in price. And then you'd have like a $40 common. And it's like, what is this? But the game was also not as popular, 15 years ago, or, I guess I haven't even been playing that long. But when I looked back, when I first started, I was like, wow, that was a different way of playing the game for sure back then.
Yeah. And I think the most interesting thing is like the game's now getting to the point where it's actually people like Standard now. Modern's not like, Modern, I know people still like playing Modern, but no one's playing Pioneer for obvious reasons that they're not doing anything about it. And like I said, just like the money right now is in the new booster boxes instead of the old stuff, which is kind of like a full circle moment,
Man, we probably could pull up some of those archived like rants that we had. And I remember one of our first conversations was like, they're pulling the money out of Standard, and if they just were to do this with Standard, and then now they're full sending Standard, and then here we are on. It's like it took them this long to do it,
right?
But then you're like, if you think about it, yes, you're going to have a constant revolving door of fans, and people are enfranchised in different levels, but it's a bummer that like if the waves that you catch of things in a hobby. It's just funny how we like caught on to the trend of Pauper.
Oh yeah.
Kind of like right before it got super popular. And then, here we are, however many years later, and Pauper's as popular as it's ever been, but also you have to think Standard like is starting to come full circle. We're like, wow, it'd be fun to play Standard, but I'm like not really interested in buying cards, even remotely, like they're pretty expensive, and I'm like, man, that's kind of a bummer, because it's like I'd probably just play MTG Arena or MTGO,
right?
But I don't know, it's like it's just you're in a different stage of life almost.
Well, and like I said, I think the best thing they did too is the Universe Beyond to get more people into it, which they did do SpongeBob finally, but like
man,
it's just like at the point where I'm like, there's things that we don't agree with, but they do make more money. And Universe Beyond is one of those things. And it's super interesting that's actually doing really good. Like, well, what's interesting is like how good it's doing, I guess you say, because like we got the Spider-Man, because that's new, that was the new thing. Marvel, they got Final Fantasy coming out, and I think we did talk about Final Fantasy 2 years ago because they were planning on doing.
Yes, I remember that.
But yeah, man, like I don't know, the game's definitely got more expensive for the newer stuff, which is interesting because, like I said, it wasn't like that. But
it's like almost. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just saying, like I say, like if I can give anybody that's like, if you're wanting to buy old stuff, this is probably about the time to actually start buying old stuff. I mean, we might have this for another couple more years until something happens, and because like I think something's going to happen, and there's going to be like a slight crash. Or I mean, we're already kind of in one, in my opinion, but it's going to get to a point where like people are going to forget about the Black Lotus and stuff like that. I mean, they might not forget about the Black Lotus, but they're going to forget about some of the OG stuff. And what I'm talking about in particular is like those dual lanes have dropped a lot, in my opinion. Yeah,
like this would be a good idea for an episode later on, but the thought that came to my head was the catalyst that would bring focus back on the reserve list. And that would be like, the TV show they said they would do that they've never done. you know, a
Right.
movie. I mean, you know, heck, even just another game that like uses the Magic IP, because that's the thing. It's like the sentiment I've hear from the people I follow in the Magic realm of YouTube or whatever is the Magic IP is not as strong as, I mean, other IPs. Why are they doing Universes Beyond? You know? So I think they have to strengthen the IP of the Magic side of things before people are like in like, I guess, entranced by the reserve list like you and I were when we first started. We're like, that's the coolest thing we could ever own. You're literally like 1/4 of the way there. You're approaching halfway there probably in the next few years. And then by the time, so you're in this perfect little valley before it hits this mountaintop again. And what I was going to say earlier was I feel like Magic is on this trajectory of like kind of not, it's not trying to copy Pokemon, but it definitely is trying to get the money in the moment with like the game, which is a good and bad thing.
Yeah.
So
That's,
I like,
that's the way of doing it, though.
yeah, I mean, it is. You want it kind of both, where you have interest in like the game, where you have enfranchised players. Because I would consider myself still an enfranchised player, because I would still go out and buy like commons or even, I mean, I have a Pioneer deck, and technically I could own a modern deck if I bought the fetches and a few other things because of Phoenix and stuff. But like outside of that, definitely not sure where I would be if it wasn't for like that super focus on like, I guess, the game, because I was like super excited about the game, and then that's what made me excited about the reserve list. Then when I owned a few cards from like, that's awesome, then I sold you them. And then I was like, okay, now I don't care about it. But then like give it another 10 years and I get to show my kids like the full power 9, they'll probably lose their mind. And then it will be like millions of dollars. You know, you just don't know.
That's what Uncle
It's
Matt,
all cycles.
that's when Uncle Matt would come by.
It's like, you don't know what he has. It's a legend. It's like the Minecraft movie, but just the Magic. See, that's the thing. Think about Minecraft movie. That's all my daughter plays is Minecraft.
Right.
Like every day. And I like Minecraft. I wouldn't say I love it, but I like it. I'll sit and play with her every now and then, but I'm not like jumping on to play Minecraft.
Did you
like
guys watch the
a lot
movie?
of people. Well, my wife took her, but me personally, no, I didn't see it. I tried to get her all the toys from McDonald's, and that was like, it was like half successful, 4 out of 6. So it is what it is. But back on that point is, they made a Minecraft movie, and people are like, oh, it's past its prime, but there's still enough of a following, and Minecraft's still a big enough thing that people can like get back on board, right?
Yeah.
Magic, if they made a Magic the Gathering movie, it wouldn't even come close to what Minecraft just did. Like, and
No.
not that I want to, be like, oh, poo-poo on Magic and Wizards. It's like, no, it's not that. It's just, it's not in people's mind's eye. But you do SpongeBob with Magic, and it's literally like random, like everybody would know that more, which I think is crazy. It's like Magic is this catalyst for all these other IPs where it's weird that it's like not the other way around.
Right.
So I don't know. That's just my only, like, I would say, quote unquote, complaint with the game is I wish that the game itself is just so, it's so accessible.
Right.
And I'll probably play it till I die. But the thing is like, it doesn't have that same hold of me as it used to. Whereas like, even like the new Warhammer stuff I'm into has a hold on me, but it's not like it's overcoming my life where I'm like, oh, I'm all about this. Like, it's just, I like absorbing information and learning something new. And who knows, in a year or two, it might be another thing. It's just part of just who I am as a person. But yeah, sorry, that was a little bit of a soapbox.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm going to change the subject because I know we probably got about 20 more minutes left. But I want to kind of go back to how expensive the games got now. There's been a little bit of controversy, especially when it involves with secret lair. Have you heard about any of those?
Yeah, I mean, because I follow like all of the major outlets, I see whatever new secret lair that's coming out, like literally every day. so
Did you see the Chaos Vault one that everybody's complaining about?
Well, see, I've seen it, but I don't like click on it to read it. That's my problem. I kind of just observe it, and I'm like, oh, that's okay. I understand that that's coming out, but I don't know anything about it.
So pretty much in a nutshell, this is this is a start, because today at the recording of this, we even got more secret lairs that's popping up, and they're pretty expensive, and it's interesting. And so the Chaos Vault, they had a secret lair so how would you think non-foils and foils are? You know, get you $20.99 for your non-foil. How much would you pay for your foiled one?
Wait. 29 for the. I would say $50. Like, so, there's a small premium charge.
Okay, so it's typically $40. So like $30 for, let's say $30 for non-foil. It's $10 more for the foil. This case, it's the same 4 cards, but it's $60 for the foil and $30 for the non-foil.
So they basically just upped to $20
for this one particular case, because I know they're not supposed to know the outside market, but there's a couple cards, and there's one card in here that's, I don't know which one it is off the top of my head. I know you guys can find it, but it's worth probably like $20 foiled.
So this is it. So I see. So this is kind of going through the veil a little bit.
Yep.
Where people are like, oh, you actually do understand the market. Then why are you doing this? Yep. Okay, I see.
So, and then I'll go over today. So, okay, how much do you think raised foils would be? Because now they're introducing raised foils.
Oh, you mean actually in secret lair, like the stuff that's in collector boxes?
Yep. How much do you think? Like, okay, so now they got back to normal now. So I'm looking at the prices. Non-foils $30. Regular foil is $40. How much would you guess the raised foils are?
Oh no, I'm gonna guess $80.
$100.
Oh no, they didn't.
They did. They did.
What?
Dude.
No, they did not.
Yes, they did. So there's 2 of them. One of them's like burn pretty much stuff. So it comes with like One Chain Lightning, DRC, Lava Spike, Rift Bolt, and Skewer the Critics.
They're all raised foils.
The raised foil variants of them is $100, and then the other one that does it it's also kind of with burn as well. It's Lava Dart, Monastery Sphere, Soul Scar Mage, Underworld Breach, and Mishra's Bauble.
Okay.
Like, the art looks really cool. And hear me out. I think I would not. Oh, that's a tough question. I say, I would. I don't know if I'd buy these as a playset yet. I don't know. I would probably stay away from doing that. I'm kind of curious to see how that market does with this, because during the same time, they're also releasing the Commander Secret Lair. And you remember, so the Commander Secret Lair is even worth more than that. The Commander Secret Lair is, I think it's $200 for 100 cards.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm looking at it now. I not that I didn't believe you, but I was a little shocked, because the whole point I thought of Secret Lair was like, I mean, I guess they changed their philosophy then. Oh, I did not understand that.
Well, it's because they fired everybody who did the original Secret Lairs, which, in my opinion, the Secret Lairs brought them the most amount of money. And this is where I get upset with Wizards, because I think, so they tried to do like a limited amount now, which I'm not the biggest fan about, because they made more money, like, you know, holding back, and then they say, hey, whatever you guys want to buy, we'll give you a month, and then we can print them all off, and like, sure, it takes longer to get the cards, but you get your cards. And that was great. But now they're like, we got to print all these cards beforehand, and it's screwing things up, because it's like they've already faced the consequences of it, because they still got freaking Secret Lairs that's from October. Like, you guys are like, this is like a very dumb move. Granted, I don't think they care. But like, I think Secret Lairs, when you were able to, like, you know, they gave you a month to order them, it made everybody happy. Like, it didn't decrease the value of the value of the card, because those cards still, a lot of them hold a lot of value still, and still worth more than the variants. And it's like, I don't know, like, I feel like you shoot yourself on the foot if you're not going to print off more money.
Yeah. Wait, take 1 second.
Yeah.
I gotta go check on little Bubba.
Okay, yeah. Why are you doing that?
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, while you're doing that, I'm going to talk for a minute.
All right, cool.
But yeah, I mean, like, for the most part, everybody just really surprises me just how expensive, like, how they do some of these cards, and it just doesn't make sense. I don't understand the philosophy of it. I know they're still making solid good money off the Secret Lairs, but right now the money is pretty much just on the Universe Beyond, and it makes sense. I mean, I would have done it too, but man, 100, like, these are beautiful cards. Like, don't get me wrong. I'll probably have a few of them on the screen. Like I said, the raise foils are nice. I'm not too excited about the raise foils of the, what's the set called? The Vroom set.
All right, I'm back.
But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at on that. I was pretty much saying that, you know, they're still making solid money off the Secret Lairs, but I think where they're making the most of the money out of is the Universe Beyond. So that's kind of where I was talking about. Like I said, I don't hate it. I mean, they can do whatever they want. I think it's I think it's a dumb idea, but, you know, they're gonna make their money regardless. So that's kind of where I'm at on it. I mean, I know,
and it's okay. Like, I from the onset of Secret Lair, I knew I would never be able to afford. Like, there was a few times I was like, wow, $30. That's a cool art. You know, I was like, man, maybe. But then I just kind of, the reality, I'm like, no, I can just get it for 20 cents or whatever.
Right.
And I'm okay with that. Like, it's just some products aren't for you. And, you know,
I just
kind of is what it is.
I just wish they would do, like, some staples in here and make people really want to buy them. Like, don't get me wrong. I do think the ones that have mostly burn cards is a solid choice, because, you know what I mean? Like, I think these, like, the Lava Dart, Monastery Superior, Soulscar Mage, they're really good for mono red, and there's, like, people who collect unique popper cards so they can get the Chain Lightning, Lava Spike, Rift Bolts, Skewer the Critics. The only thing you can't use is DRC until that becomes a common.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, right?
But no.
Oh man. Yeah, they are cool arts for sure.
Yeah, like I said, I have nothing against the arts. I want to go back to the Commander Secret Lair. I would say if you're like, hey, I gotta invest into the game, I gotta do this, gotta try to make some money, I think the Everyone's Invited Commander deck list would probably be your better option. If you're gonna buy anything that night, and the one that probably will go out fast is always the Commander decks. People are willing to pay for them. I'm gonna guess you probably spend $200 on this, and you might be able to get maybe $300, and might be able to sell it for $300 for an extra $100 or around that mark. Just depends. Yeah. Like, they've got some pretty cool art on some of these cards. So definitely some anime for people that like anime. Definitely some, like, realistic art. I really like the Soul Ring of it, honestly. Which is funny. Yeah. Because, you know, we talk about prices. You remember, like Soul Ring is one of those cards that's like, remember the Keladesh version of it?
Oh man, I know.
How much you think that is today?
I'm gonna guess it's still between 600 and 800.
Yeah, that's about where it's at. But it used to be up to over 1,000 at one point. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah. Before the serialized, I think it was over 1,000.
Yeah.
And then the serialized ones, were like the Lord of the Rings serialized, it really, I mean, it's not like it crashed like down to 100, but those inventions will eventually go up to. I mean, I can see those are like the modern day reserve list, like the inventions, the expeditions, and then even those have still dropped a little bit, but for sure the serialized is the way that that's the real way that I think the game has kind of retained some of its
and they only did one serialized, I think, with the last set, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was the Edgar Markov, I believe.
Yep, and then the other one that we just had, what was the return of
Tarkir?
Tarkir? They just had that new Mox, and it was an old border, and like I think they finally took some like understanding of like, hey, this is actually how you do a limited card. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Actually, you know what? See, and this is where I need to maybe instead of just whizzing past it, I need to actually sit down and read an article, because I thought they literally were going back to pick a set, right? But they actually did something like what you just said. It's a good thing is they pick one card, they really do it well, and then they make it serialized. Because let me tell you what, when I take my, kid to go and play a draft, or I play in a tournament and I got prize packs for Aether Drift, right? This last top 8. If I would have opened up that one card, like that would just make my year, because I'd be like, yo, Matt, like, you want to own a 72 of whatever of Mox Jasper? Like, that would be my first call is like you. And that's just we've always done that. And then, it's like, yeah, I could like save on and make more money somewhere else, but I'd rather you own it and we come up with the deal than it be something else, because I don't know. It's just more fun that way. But I'm not going to, like, part of me would be like bummed to sell it, but I'm still, that to me funds my hobby. It funds Warhammer. It funds, a card like that could fund like a new computer. I can literally like pay off, like, or not pay off, but like get another computer, or you could do tons of stuff in the hobby realm. Like, I don't really see, I try to like think of like my hobby as a contained thing, so like it kind of pays for itself.
Right.
So like I have tons of cards over the last 3 or 4 years I really need to take into a store and get traded in, so I can, kind of either pay off the stuff I have bought, or, buy new stuff I need, or get a couple cards. I've always done that. It just makes more sense to me.
Absolutely. Like I said, I just, like, and that's something like, I think when I get to where you're at, I'm not going to say where you live at, because people will probably find you, but I think when I get to where you're at, I think we need to record ourselves going through my collection for Popper, and like, and like kind of like do like details on how, what cards we need and stuff like that. But I think what would also be fun is if we do an open, for old time's sakes, because I don't like opening up booster boxes.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to at least open up one collector box with you.
Okay. A new one, or one that you owned?
A new one.
Okay.
I think what we should do is we should record ourselves, and as long as they're cool with going to the game store and all that, we can record our stuff going to the game store, and then I'll let you do your fills, and then we'll go to that box, and then go back to the hotel or whatever, and we open it up.
I love it. And I will say this, because I kind of want to finally document it. I probably have an above average luck on my pools.
You do. Like you pulled the demonic tutor.
Yes, the best card out of like that card, if you were to put it in today's terms, would have been the raised foil serialized demonic tutor.
Yeah, because back in the day they did foiled etches, and it was in Japanese art, and like
Yes.
I bought that off you. I
was.
remember because you were like wanting what $50 for it at the time.
Yes, because we were looking at it and I'm like, oh shoot. And then we were both looking at it and it was like, yeah, it's only $50. Like, okay. And then we both had that aha moment. Oh, it's foil.
Yeah.
Of course, we got to look at the foil price, and it was like $350, $400.
Yeah, and then I was like,
and we both lost our mind.
Yeah, and then like I was like, dude, like don't, no, we can't, I can't, don't sell for $50. And then I think, what did I do? Did I spend $200 on it?
I feel like it was somewhere between 2 to 3. I think, and we've always done this is like, like if you were to take it to a shop, you're going to get a certain percentage. If you're going to sell it on eBay, you're going to get a certain thing. We've always done like I guess a gentleman's agreement of if I, sell it to you, then there's some kind of like equity there where you're going to give me a little more for it, but it's because we're selling it to each other.
Right.
Or like I'll trade it for like half of it's in trade and half of it's in, whatever.
Right.
Heck, I think I traded some cards for part of my hotel stay at one point.
You did.
It's like
you did because you got
which is cool.
You had a worm coil. I bought a worm.
That's right.
I bought a worm coil off you.
Yep, there it is. But no, that'd be fun. I'd be down for that. Like, and by the time we get to that episode, if we can stay consistent, we might be 10, 20, 30 episodes deep, which you got to put it out there that in the world that we're going to do it. But I think it's important.
Like I said, I'm definitely making a trip to your place this year. That's my goal. It's going to be summertime. So. Oh yeah. Like I said, I don't know if it'd be.
We'll get it.
Yeah, I don't know if it'd be after July or before July. That's kind of where I'm kind of trying to look at right now, because July is when I'll have that. I'll have my one collection paid off. So.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, we'll plan on it, man. That'll be good.
Yeah, I'm excited, dude.
Well, maybe we should. You know what we could do? And this is obviously, for anyone still listening, this is financially irresponsible. But we could get one booster box collectors of like, what am I trying to say? Magic. And then we could get a booster box of like another game. And then a booster box of another game. And just try to do like, yeah, medicine. Oh my goodness, man. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do anything with those other than sell them back to the card store. It's like I don't have any vested interest. I just see so many people do these openings of like Flesh and Blood and Pokemon and all these, and I'm like, man, I just can't do that anymore. There's just something in me that I would just feel like I'm robbing myself. Like the joy I have is like, yes, we could go back to old school and then maybe we could do something cool for like next year, when we're actually at a convention and we really try to go and, there's just, I don't know.
Well, like I said,
we'll figure it out.
And like I said, we both got two different talents. I can find rare things and you pull rare things, because remember when we went to your one collection and I was like, I pulled out it was a Plateau.
the one that had poop on it.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, and I was actually, it was like stuck together too.
Yeah.
And even a heavy played Plateau was like, shoot, that was like 2019-ish. It was still like $50-$60.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want this. And that even back then, I kind of called it. I was like, I don't want these super expensive cards. I want to be able to play the game. And now my collection resembles that. Mm-hmm. So if this whole episode, if you had to like compound it into one thing, is like, what do you want your hobby to be for you?
Yep.
Because you have to decide that. Maybe that could be this new theme that we go into over the next couple months, is like, you have to decide because I know eventually you'll try Warhammer with me, and I have a couple friends I'm trying to get into Warhammer to like learn how to play the game, because I've had to learn how to paint and kind of get supplies for that, and it's not like super expensive, but it's not the most inexpensive thing, so you invest in that, and then but you kind of find what you like about the hobby, and then you, in my opinion, you should like taper it down to the few things that you super enjoy, and then you kind of can go from there.
It's all about just figuring out what you like out of the game and just going from there. And like I said, I think my favorite thing is, I was talking to somebody about the other day. She was like, "Hey, why don't you play the game that much anymore? Or why are you doing this?" And I kind of make excuses because I'm in college and I'm in this, and like I'm only got 3 more classes left in college. And I'm just like, you know what? Screw it. I think I'm going to have a little bit of fun. I need to have a little bit of fun. I've not been having fun lately. Collecting's all right, but you know what? They're just sitting in a box. And I haven't even went through some of those cards yet. So that's something I really need to do. Just go through the cards and just have fun just going through it.
Yes. And we need to figure out a way for you, not necessarily to display it. Like, I don't know if you've ever been big on showcase displays, but if there's a way for you to store it that you can be proud of, that like, our good old favorite Rudy from Alpha Investments, right? Out of everybody that you would think would hold cards in those traditional 3-ring binders, he is one of them. And he has a very specific system on how he does all of his, card storage. And I've always appreciated that. Like, he found a way that works for him.
Yeah.
And you just gotta do the same for yourself. And I really appreciate Rudy, and there's a lot of other people that just do their thing. And, in his words, you just stay the course and you just eventually will make it. I've had some mentors, same thing. You exist there long enough for it to kind of come to fruition. So that's kind of like, should be the mantra for the rest of this year, I feel like.
I think so too. And I want to end something. I want to end this almost video on one more note here, or podcast on this one note. So we have this thing. I have this 4 Arc Planet Phoenixes. I collect, so every card that I've gotten from AJ, other than maybe like stuff that we knew was going to be selling off, the stuff that was important, I still own those cards of. And I'm planning on giving him the OG Arclights back. But I remember trading him something a long time ago, and I'm wondering if he still has it or not. Because I don't think he's using it for his Phoenix deck for Pioneer anymore. You ready for the question? Do you know what card it could be? Do you know what card it could be?
Is it that one card that's like, it's a red card, right?
It's I'll give you a hint. It is it's red and blue.
Oh, the Royal Scion.
Yes. Because
I still got that.
Because I remember telling you, I was like, man, I really don't like giving away my foils. I gave you that one. The red card that I did give you, and I know you still have it, because I think if there were non-foils anyway, or maybe they weren't, but because it's just a memory of me anyway. It's just the Chandra's.
Oh yeah, that's the one I was thinking of, the Chandra one.
Yeah, Chandra's. What is that card called, AJ? It's the 6/6.
I know. Hold on, I have TCG player up here. I'll find it.
Yeah, TCG.
Chandra's Incinerator.
Yeah, Chandra's Incinerator. 6/6.
Yep. You can have $3 card. What the heck? Well, $1. Either way, $1.80.
But I think that card's probably really good right now. That card, I'm surprised it doesn't see modern play, but I don't know. I don't do anything anymore. I'm a nobody.
We're gonna change that.
Yeah.
We both need to have a positive outlook on this. Is like, you can do anything you want in life, and what you put your heart and soul into matters. I know work is work. Work can become the thing that you enjoy, or you can find, enjoyment elsewhere.
Yes.
But yeah, I knew that you didn't ever wanted me to trade off that the Royal Scions, and I've always kept on to that. In fact, it it showed up in some of my Pioneer sideboard lists for many years, to be honest.
Yeah, I figured
And
it did.
I was like, if you gave it to me because we did it in a trade and it was like certain amount, and you're like, yeah, I don't mind. You didn't really want to, but I appreciate it, and I used it for quite a while.
So I know the card, like I said, I don't think it's going to see, I mean, I might still see some play, like, and I don't think it's even that expensive. It's not even, like, I don't think it's even that expensive at all. But let me see here. I don't think it's even being used as a Phoenix for Pioneer anyway. No.
Who plays Pioneer? I'm just kidding.
I'm the only one that cares about the
Yeah,
game.
look at this. This is a dollar card.
Yeah, okay.
It's a dollar card. The foil. No, well, hold on. The foil is
Plus foil. Yep.
$3.
$3.
Medium.
Now, hear me out, guys. I think if you're going to buy, if you want to invest in any format right now, Pioneer and maybe Legacy, because those are two dead formats right now. So, and Pauper should always be Pauper. Oh shoot, I know we're going on.
Find another Merchant Scroll. Find another kind of card like Merchant Scroll.
Yep.
That you would be excited about. Not that you
From
are
the
going
dark.
to make money off
Is that
of
what
it.
it's from? From the dark. What's that?
No, it's from Homelands.
Homelands. Okay.
But that's the thing is like, yeah, $20 to $38 Judge promo. Like, see, I like the Mystery Booster 2 one better than the other ones because it's a cool border. It's the Future Sight border. So
I'm with
$10.
I'm with you on that one.
I would get that, but I don't want to spend $10 on it. But that's the kind of card that I would go and trade my cards in and then go get 4 of just to have.
Right.
You know, like that's my mindset. And even before the jump, it was $4, and it, you know, it's so you just kind of have to read you can call it a market, right? The card market. As much as I like have a love-hate with the finance side of it, you know, I always go back to that thing, you know, stay the course that old Rudy says, and then you have to think about what you enjoy about the game and what you would like to have in your collection as a player, as a collector, because it doesn't matter what happens in the market.
Right.
You know, I'm pretty much parroting what Rudy has said in literally every single video, but I enjoy the perspective that I can put it myself. Like I'm gonna, like, I have Pauper. That's like my main format.
Yep.
Is Pauper. So, you know, it kind of is what it is.
All right. Well, I think we got to end it on this note. I got to go to work. Woke up pretty early for this podcast today, so we had to get it done.
All righty, sir. Well, thanks for joining with me here, and this is one of many to come.
Yes. Hopefully, we need to make it happen. So.
Well, you brought it up this time. I think I brought it up last time, so now we're even. So I think as long, you know, and we'll just make it happen as we can.
Absolutely. Well, everybody take it easy. Have a great week, and God bless.
All right. See you guys.
From the draft to sealed and standard to commander decks, we play for the honor, but we're all still wrecks. Legends in the making with our cardboard in our hand, in the realm of magic on this sacred gaming land. It's magic in the cards and that old beat-up box where we trade and collect them around the ticking clocks. In a world of dragons, elves, and enchanted lands so far, we find our battles and friendships with magic in the cards.